Now you're facing Jake on the house show loop heading into Survivor Series, and so Jake, he's back from injury, which is great. But one thing sticks out really particularly for me when I was doing the research on this. Apparently, on November 3rd, 1989, you guys are in Denver in front of 5,000 people, and Jake is going to beat you in the match. But what's noted by somebody who was there live is that Jake repeatedly was pulling down your trunks throughout the course of the match as the match went on. So to me, this sounds like Jake ribbing you. Does this sound familiar to you at all?
That sounds like something Jake would do. you know, yeah, and I would and obviously find some way to repay him.
gotta find gotta find some way to do it. But just it struck me as really funny because now I'm in the ring and I wear wrestling trunks. So already you're kind of going out there and it's like, yeah, you kind of feel like you're in your underwear in front of a bunch of people. So I can't imagine my opponent actively trying to pull my trunks down while I'm out there as well. Boy, what a rip.
Well, I don't know. It would be it wouldn't be like so obvious that because the last thing you're going to do is try to do something that, again in a serious match that's going to make people laugh, unless obviously unless it's obviously I'm the heel, so if you
Mhm.
could do something like that, okay, yeah, but I don't think he would repeatedly. I don't know if I buy that. So I can't remember that.
Yeah, who knows? Maybe it happened twice over the course of the match or something, and
Yeah,
some because it's a fan report. A lot of the fans will go to these live shows and then report to Dave. Well, here's what was going on at this show. So maybe it happened a couple of times, and the fan was like, "Oh, it was over and over again."
yeah.
Funny rib though. I am wondering, Jake. He's coming back from this neck surgery, and obviously in a couple of years, you're going to know what that's like because you're going to suffer the exact same injury as Jake had. Uh, would you say that it changed the way that you worked with Jake when he's coming back from a neck injury, or is it just full steam ahead?
Well, it's full steam ahead, but it's but given that okay, he's back from an injury, and we talked, and I said, okay, let's just and obviously I would be very careful not to, it's like okay, so I'm gonna. You just had neck surgery. I'm gonna give you a pile driver. You know, you just stay away from that shit.
You know what's interesting though? It's funny that you should say that. Is that there's a photo of you and Jake out there from this rivalry. I hope I can find it so I can add it to this. But it's a photo of you giving Jake a pile driver.
Yeah,
And so I asked Jake about it because we did an episode about Survivor Series. By the way, folks who are listening to this, go and check out that episode of the Snake Pit. It was like maybe 2 episodes ago or something, so you can really get the full story behind it. And I'm also right after I finish with Ted, I'm going to be recording with Jim Duggan, and guess what? Jim and I are talking about this exact same subject. So you're really going to get the full story from Survivor Series 1989 from three guys who lived it. But on that episode with Jake, I mentioned that photo to him, and his response was, I wouldn't let anybody give me a pile driver except for DiBiase because I trusted him.
yeah, yeah.
And
Well, that's the whole thing. That's why we always gelled well. Is it was a trust thing.
mhm.
Yes, yeah. It's very hard to be in the ring with somebody that you don't trust or you don't think you know. And I can't recall having anybody that I worked with that I didn't trust. I mean, in terms of uh, there might be somebody that okay, you might do this to so and so, but you're not going to do it to me.
I think that you had everybody's respect. So and
Yeah,
I'm sure that you
yeah,
knew that at the time, like, okay,
yeah,
nobody's gonna fuck with Ted because everybody respects Ted.
yeah. That's it.